Welcome to the sixth in this series of presentations that have been developed as part of the Plymouth College of Art and Atlantic Youth Creative Hub's Creative Entrepreneurs Business Incubation Programme. The programme was designed to support young creative entrepreneurs by providing the fundamental skills required to develop an idea, plan and start a business, and ultimately take their products or services to market. Through a series of workshops, events, and mentoring, participants increased their business knowledge, gained confidence to start a new business, and develop their professional practice. My name is Mark Cotton, and I've produced this series of presentations to capture and share the content of the AYCH workshops, creating a resource for future reference. Customer profiling allows you to devise a stronger business model and shapes the design of better value propositions. This session explores the basics of customer empathy mapping and how this can lead to more appropriate customer relationships. If you cast your mind back to a previous session and the business model canvas, which, as you'll recall, works on the basis that a business model can best be described through 9 basic blocks that show the logic of how a company intends to make money, and the 9 blocks cover the 4 main areas of a business: customers, offer, infrastructure, and financial viability. Today, we're going to focus once again on the right-hand side of the canvas, and specifically the customer segments, value propositions, and customer relationship elements. Previously, we've looked at the value proposition canvas and how it can be used as a simple tool that quickly gets you to the minimum viable clarity about your product. For this session, we're going to focus on the customer, and specifically customer understanding or insight. As we've said before, the more you know about your audience, the more likely you'll design a value proposition that answers customers' priorities, creates customer gains, and relieves customer pains. You achieve a fit when your value map meets your customer profile and when your products and services produce pain relievers and gain creators that match the jobs, pains, and gains that are important to your customers. Or to put it another way, you design products and services which meet customer needs, satisfy their wants, and allay any fears that they might have. As previously discussed, the customer profile, or the circle on the value proposition canvas, is the tool for getting to know your customers. Your understanding of your customer and the customer profile itself will evolve and deepen as you gather more evidence and more information about the customer. And this in turn forces the customer priorities onto your value propositions that you design. In order to fully understand your customer, you need to shift your perspective. Maybe take a more customer-centric design approach rather than an organization-centric one. And instead of asking them the questions on the left-hand side of the screen, so what can we sell customers, maybe ask them the question in a different way. What jobs do our customers need to get done and how can we help? What are our customers' aspirations and how can we help live up to them? So instead of asking what relationships do we need to establish with customers, maybe ask yourself, what relationships do our customers expect us to establish with them? And rather than asking, how can we make money from our customers, ask yourself the question, for what value or values are our customers truly willing to pay? So don't find customers for your products, find products for your customers. You need to understand your customers emotionally in terms of their wants, needs, fears, or pains and gains. If you're going to find or design products and services for customers, then you need to understand how your customers feel. Previously, we talked about the Ansoff matrix and how market development can be seen as a useful growth strategy. However, this involves developing new markets, or more to the point, increasing the number of customers for your products. Again, this is likely to be more successful the more you know about your customers and have better developed customer insight.
Having a good understanding of our customers is essential if we're to effectively develop, market, and sell our products and services. This can be achieved by first seeking to understand how our ideal customers view their environment before trying to understand their experience with us. The customer empathy map was developed by X-Plane and is a really useful way to define our ideal customer. It can also be used during creative sessions to identify how much we actually know about our customers, identifying areas of further research. At the same time, we can draw out what we know or assume about the people that we sell to. The tool is an excellent starting point for creating a customer profile, helping us to develop meaningful value propositions and effective channels of communication that will be most effective in developing the customer relationship that we need. The Customer Empathy Map allows us to empathize with our customers by considering the following aspects. How do they think and feel? What's really important to them? What do they see? What do their friends have? What is their environment? And what marketing messages are they exposed to? What do they hear? Who's influencing them? And what do their friends, boss, colleagues or family members say? How do they act in public? What do they say? What's their appearance like? And are they influencing others? Next, we consider their pains and potential gains. What are their fears, problems, challenges, or frustrations that they have? How do they measure success, and what do they aspire to? The tool can be used alone, but works much better when it's used as part of a group session. To use the Customer Empathy Map, first list your customer segments and select the one you want to focus on. Give your customer a name, and then define their demographic status, their income, their age, their marital status. Next, use a whiteboard or flip chart paper to draw your customer empathy map, and then brainstorm their characteristics by answering the questions in each of the areas. Put your responses on post-it notes and then stick them to the map. By collecting and collating the post-it notes of a range of individuals within the group, we start to develop a rounded and balanced view of what our ideal customer looks like. One that goes far beyond just their demographic characteristics, but helps us to better understand their environment, their behaviour, their concerns, and their aspirations. Ultimately, the Customer Empathy Map allows us to get a much better understanding of our customer and how we can engage with them. It allows us to generate insights into potential needs that the customer might have that we're not currently serving. And it will allow us to identify where they are likely to see value in our product offerings. To better understand how Optima Training can help you better communicate with your customers through training that sticks, visit www.optimatraining.co.uk.
So, a simple but useful tool, the Empathy Map Canvas. It's a simple customer profile which helps you to go beyond a customer's demographic characteristics and develop a better understanding of the environment, the behavior, concerns, aspirations, and helps develop a better understanding of what your customer is truly willing to pay for. The Customer Empathy Map is used to help you define the ultimate customer and helps to identify what we know, what we think we know, but also what do we need to know about our customers. It helps us to create customer profiles, develop our value proposition, and identify effective communication channels with our customers. So how does it work? The canvas has 7 numbered areas, so you can see there's a recommended route to follow. We start with the goal section, first identifying who will be the subject of this particular customer empathy mapping. This could be a particular segment or a type of customer that you've identified as a potential beneficiary of your idea or your developing product or service. Hopefully by this point in your product development, you have at least an idea about the type of person you're looking to create a product or service for. When we move on to their goal, the customer goal is the something they need to do or get done in relation to the solution or product that you are developing. Maybe something they need to do differently, maybe a job or a task that needs to be completed, or decisions they'll need to make. It could be a challenge they need to overcome, or a problem they need to fix. Once you've clarified the goal, you can then work your way clockwise around the canvas until you have covered the seeing, saying, doing, and hearing sections. The reason for this is that the process of focusing on observable phenomena the things that they see, they say, they do and hear. It's like walking a mile in their shoes, if you like. It gives us a chance to imagine what this customer's experience might be like, to give us a sense of what it feels like to be them. Only after you've made the circle of outside elements do you focus on the center of the canvas. And this is where we consider what's going on inside a customer's head. The large head in the center is one of the most important aspects of the canvas design. The whole idea is to imagine what it's like to be inside someone else's head. This is the primary power of the empathy mapping exercise. In the center, we ask two key questions. Firstly, what are the customer's pains? For example, what are their fears, frustrations, and anxieties? And secondly, what are the gains they're looking for? What do they want and need, or what are their hopes and dreams? You will hopefully have identified some of this when going through the value proposition canvas exercise. And then having gone through the empathy map exercise, you will find that you might have some information from existing sources, but you might also find that you need to go out and gather more information. So how do you identify the goals, find the answers to the see, hear, say, and do questions, and understand the pains and gains? There's a whole host of approaches you can take. You can carry out desk-based research. You can talk to potential customers to gather insights, either directly or via surveys. You can observe potential customers in the real world to see how they behave in certain environments. Be your own customer and actively trial and use your own products or services and genuinely walk in a customer's shoes. Involve customers in product and service design and development, carry out customer testing, organize focus groups, or experiment with potential customers. Do whatever you need to do to gain customer insights so that you can properly empathize with your customer to build better value propositions. So let's take a look at an example of a worked empathy map canvas, focusing on a student living out of town who needs to travel into the city to get to university. This looks at the problem of shortage of parking space, the price of travel and the cost of travel, and all of the consequences of travel. Some people try to travel by car, but the environmental impact and the city laws make them rethink how to travel. Most people end up going by public transport, but due to public transport inefficiency, these people are frustrated and feel that they are spending too much time traveling. The customer empathy mapping process helps to develop a much deeper understanding of and empathy for the commuter. This is essential insight if you're involved in developing effective transport solutions, for example. Hopefully by now, you can get a sense of how deeper customer understanding can help you to create and design value propositions which better meet the customer's needs, satisfies their wants, and allays any fears that they might have. Your understanding of and insight into your customer and your customer profiles are crucial if you are to genuinely create irresistible products and services. Thanks for taking the time to watch this presentation from the AYCH Creative Entrepreneurs Business Incubation Program. Please join me for the next in the series. Goodbye.